Hey guys, welcome back to day 10 of Tour de Fleece. Today is a rest day, so there is no spinning today. I might spin a little bit because I didn't finish my challenge day spinning yesterday because Benji just would not cooperate, and then 4th of July parties and then fireworks, so we had late bedtime. But I did finish my blue yarn the other day, and my helper here is very excited to help me get this yarn off of the bobbin and onto my niddy noddy. So we're going to do that today instead of spinning, and also soak it and hang it up to dry. It's a little humid today, so I don't know if I'll be drying it outside or I might hang it in the boiler room. That's where I usually put things to dry fast. I also think, because I will be done with that red fiber soon, I think I'm going to figure out what I want to do with this, because this is up next after that red fiber is done. I think I want to do a little bit of color management on it, so I will probably pull this apart and maybe match up the colors a little bit. I don't know, we'll see. All right, so with my blue yarn that I was spinning the other day, I happened to be going through my spinning basket. I couldn't find the part to my tripod that holds my cell phone because I was using that crappy camera that wasn't recording audio well. So I had taken off my cell phone adapter and I couldn't find that. So I'm digging around everywhere, digging through my spinning basket, and I found a little tiny bit of singles of this fiber, and it wasn't a lot, and I didn't know why it was just yarn. It wasn't on anything. Like, I pulled it off of my drop spindle. So I had this bit of yarn that came off of my drop spindle, but it wasn't on the knitting needles like I normally do, and it was just a small amount. I don't know why I would have done just a small amount like that. So I thought maybe I messed up and didn't like how the thickness it was coming out to, or something, that I had taken it off my drop spindle, but who knows why, because it's been so long. So I decided, let me hold on to that in case I need it for extras to help match up some length. So as I was plying, I had on my 3 little bobbins, I ran out of one and still have more on 2. So I decided to join that one in, I think. I joined that one in, and it was really, really thin. So I thought, okay, maybe that's why I took it off. Maybe it was coming out too thin. It wasn't going to be manageable to ply on. And I did break it a couple of times. I have to rejoin. But it wasn't that bad. And I'm going and I'm going, I'm plying, and I find that it, there's like chunks of wood in it. And I realized years ago, I had my drop spindle with me at knit night one night, and knit night was very crowded. There'd be bags all over the place of projects and everything, and somebody accidentally stepped on that project bag and broke the shaft of my drop spindle. So I think this is probably what was on my drop spindle at the time. There wasn't a lot on there, but I must have taken it off because the wood broke right in the middle of it, and that's probably why there's chunks of wood in it. All I had done at the time was go to Home Depot and buy a dowel the same thickness, and my dad cut it and we sanded it and wedged it right up into the whirl of my drop spindle. So my drop spindle that I have is just like a basic, nothing fancy, not a nice fancy wood, basic beginner one from Louette, and I love it. It's the best one I've ever spun on. I haven't really tried anything fancy, but it's good enough for me because I don't really enjoy drop spindling anyway. So we fixed my drop spindle, and that's probably what happened with that mystery yarn. So I wound up joining that one in, using it up, and then one of my other bobbins ran out. So what I did was I took the bobbin that still had yarn that wasn't that random little bit. I don't know exactly what it's called. I was taught Andean plying. I don't know if it's called Andean plying when you wrap it on your hand, but basically you wrap it around your middle finger and the back of your hand, so that it's never fully wrapped around your hand, but the way you wrap it, eventually you take it off of your finger. Eventually you take it off of your finger, and then it's looped around your hand, but it's not actually wrapped around, so that you're never having to unwind it from your hand. It's a really cool method. I'm gonna have to try to take a video of it. So I did that using the two ends of the one bobbin and then the one extra little bobbin that I had until that one that I Andy implied came to the end of it, which at the end of it is a loop. So that loop was there, and I decided to start Navajo plying from there, or chain plying. So I pulled that little, I had that little loop, and I took the third ply and just pulled it through a loop and just Navajo plied from there. That helped me use up all of my yarn to the very, very end, just in case whatever project I'm doing needs a little bit extra. I might kind of not count that in my yardage because it's much thinner down at that end. Okay, so we're going to use this basket and this knitting needle to make a mock lazy Kate. My lovely assistant is going to help here. Jax, will you put that bobbin onto the knitting needle? Good, fine motor skill, coordination here. Nope, turn it around. See the hole on the end? Yeah, that's what's got to go on there. Good job. You did it. So now what we can do is easily pull the yarn off the bobbin. Okay, so what we're going to do now is wrap the yarn onto the niddy noddy. For anyone who doesn't know, a niddy noddy is what we use to wind our yarn onto, and it makes a hank, but also helps us measure. So I think this one is 3 yards to go around all 4 points, but I'm not positive. I have to measure it. But either way, we're going to get it off of here now. So I'm going to hold here and just start wrapping it around. Oops. Got to get a little better positioned. Okay. It's a little finicky at first when you're first getting it aligned, but once you get going, it goes pretty good.
You're doing so good. What is that spinning thing?
That's called a niddy noddy. Yeah.
I just have a hole in my front. What that tiny one, so the yarn can come in.
Okay, we are all done getting it off of the bobbins and onto the niddy noddy. Look at how beautiful it is. I love it. Now I need to count how many wraps are around this, which it looks like a lot, and then calculate to figure out how much that is in yardage. Hi, helper boy.
1, 2, 3, and 4.
4. Okay, great. All right, so I just wound everything off onto the Nitty Knotty. I counted 224 wraps. I measured the Nitty Knotty. It is about 2 yards, so that means I have 448 yards of yarn that I just spun, or well, plied. So now it needs to go take a bath after I get Benji up. Before taking the yarn off the Nitty Knotty, I like to put 1 tie on each side at least. And then we can pop it off, which is harder to do with one hand holding a camera. It's a little twisted. How's it look, Jax?
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Is that your favorite yarn?
I don't know if this is my favorite yarn. It looks really pretty though.
Oh, that's blue yarn. And blue is your favorite color.
That's right, it is.
So,
Time for a bath. I added a little bit of soap just because this has been on the bobbins, on the spindle for so many years that it might need a little bit of cleaning at the same time. Give it a little swish around and then we'll let it sit for a little while.